Hey everyone, it's me, JoProgo. Welcome to today, everybody. I wanted to do a thing which is both give you an update about my health and also give you an outline about my health because it's helpful for me too. So here we go, a little health update with Jo. That's me dancing. I'm so tired. Also, I'm trying really hard to look at the camera, which is there. It's this tiny little spot on the corner of the phone. But then I just want to look at me because I look so nice. Also, look at my hair. We'll get to my health in a minute. Look at my hair. It's green and red because it was Christmas, but I've done this hair combination a lot because I love the green and red. It pops in a way I just love. Okay, now we're going to get to my health thing. So first, I wrote a little outline for myself so I can remember what my health problems are. And here's what I came up with, just this side. So it kind of breaks down into two categories. There's like my Lyme disease, and then there's my dissociative identity disorder. And then underneath those two things are a bunch of other things. So a little review in case you're new here. I've had Lyme disease for a long time. Years, decades, who knows, honestly. It continues to not show up on tests. That's annoying. But normal for Lyme disease as far as I understand. But I have a doctor I've been working with for my Lyme disease for almost a year now. And she was fine to just go with a clinical diagnosis, which is what I needed anyways. And then she treats me using Chinese herbs and homeopathy and acupuncture. And then she also uses diet and lifestyle advice, which is really good because, as you'll see, I have a lot of gut issues that make it really hard to eat. And then for my DID, that I've also had for probably my whole life because my abuse started early. Not something to laugh about, you guys. I laugh about my abuse all the time because I don't know how else to deal with it. Lately I've realized how very distanced I've become from it, because I just can't. I'm like, ugh, don't want to deal with it anymore. I have to keep dealing with it because it's still with me. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about in this video. It's another video. So DID, if you don't know it, it used to be called multiple personality disorder, but most of us who have it don't like that anymore because it has there's so much stigma about it that it's hard to get respect and recognition for it. Most therapists, your average therapist, won't even know what it is. They might know multiple personality disorder, but they won't know what to do with it. So that's fun. And it just means that I have more than one person living inside my body. I have many. And I've lately been thinking about how to maybe incorporate that more into this channel. I know I don't post that often, but I still love to post what I can. So I've been thinking about maybe having my alters do a little more posting. Some of them have more energy than I have, so that would help get more videos made, perhaps. So that's something I'm thinking about. I don't know yet, but thinking. So that's the other big category of my life is dissociative identity disorder. And it takes up a lot of time and space in my brain and in my trying to make my life work. Does life work? Yes, it does, because I keep eating and living, and I'm still going. Life is working. Okay, so I'm going to go through. The other thing about my Lyme and my DID is that I've discovered there's a lot of crossover between some of the symptoms because you may know this if you have either of these. Lyme causes a lot of mental health problems, and DID can cause a lot of physical health problems, or just I don't know. So people with trauma often have physical health problems. At least that's what I get told by so many doctors, even the ones I really, really respect. And then a lot of my friends who are traumatized also have physical health problems. And so I'm like, yeah, I see. It does kill your immune system and cause possibly lifelong chronic pain or fatigue. It's great. Thanks, trauma. No. Okay, so things that are... So I'm going to go through the Lyme and DID probably a little bit at a time. It's confusing. I apologize if it confuses you, but here we go. Also, if anyone can help me with the captions for this video, that would be so helpful. That's hard to do for me. But if you can help me, that'd be great. Okay, so Lyme. Let's start with my gut, because it's the winner of all the worst things. The things that are wrong with my gut are leaky gut, gastritis, thrush, constant swelling, it seems, and it's like a mast cell disorder kind of thing, but it's just in my gut, according to my Lyme doctor. But I think this happens to my whole body. Anyways, it's just where my digestive tract becomes allergic to foods all the time. And the only way to help it is to like stay ahead of the allergy forming, so I have to rotate my foods very quickly. And still not eat the ones that I'm super allergic to. But anyways, so that's like what my gut is. We recently did a bunch of tests on my gut, and my doctor didn't find any evidence of like really harmful microbes in my gut. It seemed okay in that regard, but it was really swollen, and there was problems in my small intestine where leaky gut is. So, well, I guess, yeah, I think it's your small intestine and large. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I am just a sick person. So to deal with all these problems, we've just been working on these mostly. I haven't really gotten to deal with the actual Lyme disease because my gut is so messed up. And part of these problems, it turns out, are because of the effect of trauma on my physical health, where when I was young, I did for sure develop an eating disorder. And it wasn't really anorexia, but it was because I just wouldn't eat sometimes because there wasn't enough food for everyone, and I was in charge of dinners most of the time, or I would take that on, unclear. So anyways, I wouldn't eat. I just wouldn't eat some days because it seemed better for everybody. But that might have caused some problems now in my ability to absorb food and for my gut to want to accept it, because I have this core belief now that I am not worthy of food, which is really hard to undo. So yeah, that's, as you see, a way where like my trauma history and abuse history directly impacted my physical health, Lyme disease problems in my gut, and they just play off each other and make this big mess down there that isn't a really microbial thing, but it acts like one. It's confusing. So then, the other big, I guess there's like 3 big components going on with my Lyme that I can understand. My doctor doesn't really communicate. She communicates fine, but she does it in terms of Eastern medicine, and I am glad to be getting that kind of medicine, but I don't understand it very well, and I wish I had more language in Western medicine terms just so I can understand what's happening. But she did confirm that I have chronic fatigue syndrome / myalgic encephalomyelitis. I love that word. Just rolls out of your tongue eternally. And that is just because of all it's again like the trauma and the Lyme on my body so much, trying to heal all the time, trying to get over all this shit all the time. It makes me have a lot of fatigue and pain in my muscles and my bones and my everything. I'm in pain. Especially if I try and push myself to do physical activity. So this is what gives me the biggest mobility issues, where for a while I just lost, like my legs would not work. They were weak. They would not hold their balance very well. I couldn't go very far without them like tremoring and being unable to walk. And so then I got a cane, and then I got crutches, and then I got a manual chair, and now I have a power chair, because then my arms, I was like, wait, the problem is my whole body has not enough energy, not just my legs. So I cannot power my body forward as far as it needs to go to get to the elevator to get out the building, or to get to the curb to get picked up by a car to be driven to the doctor's appointment. So I can't go very far on my own steam. I have gained back a lot of mobility around the house, at least, and that makes me hopeful that I can gain it back outside of the house. But if I go very quickly, then I crash and burn, and I lose mobility. So most of the time I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm fucked. I'm just gonna hold still, Nope, that'll make my muscles atrophy. That's frightening. That's been happening. Ugh, I don't like looking at that. It happens in my legs where like they just feel like jello. I can just like push into my calf really deep. I'm doing it right now. I don't know if it'll show up on film. Just like goes in and in and in and in. All the way down. There's just... And then this is like just empty skin where there used to be big muscle. It's just empty skin. Oh, nice. So nice. And then this feels very jello-y. I can just like... This is even my muscle flexed. And I can just push in very deeply, and it's so smooth, so jello. Yeah, so that sucks. Thank you. Chronic fatigue syndrome. Myalgic encephalomyelitis. See, just keeps going and going and going, just like Jupiter. Okay, and then the next part, this is funny, the next part of that problem is the brain fog that comes with it. And that's common with Lyme too, you get brain fog. But I notice it the most around these chronic fatigue symptoms, where I'll get a flare of fatigue and I'll feel like a drunk person, even though I don't drink anymore. And I will be stumbling into walls. I won't be able to, I'll be slurring my speech, and I won't be able to make sense of things, and I can't remember usually even where I am. And I kind of feel like I'm cocooned in my body, which is in a lot of pain, and then I can't get out or say anything, and if I move too much, it hurts more, especially my gut, which will be very swollen during this time. I'll look pregnant. I am pregnant with chronic fatigue syndrome. Just letting it ruminate in there. The gestation period for chronic fatigue syndrome can be decades before it gets out of your body. That is not a good way to compare. Don't compare chronic fatigue syndrome to babies. Or do. They are also exhausting. What was I? Oh, brain fog. It causes brain fog. Where even when I'm having a good time right now, I'm in a flare right now. But when I'm having a better time, I still have brain fog. It's great. It's hard to remember where I am when I leave the house. Like, I go out of the apartment door, and it's hard to remember. But I can usually manage to get down to take my dog outside maybe a couple times a week. My partner does it the rest of the time. Thank you, Corey, for taking care of our dog. So anyways, I'll get lost when I get outside. I won't know where I am. I cannot wander very far. And usually I'll end up being, like, pretty convinced I'm in Seattle, because that's where I spent the most time in a big city, Seattle. I know it really well. So then I have the most, like, long-term memory stored up about that city. And Oakland also looks similar to Seattle. Pretty similar. So anyways, when I'm wandering around the city with other people, I'll be like, I think I'm in Seattle. I don't know. If I don't think about it too hard, it doesn't freak me out. I can just follow the people I'm with. Unless they get more than, like, a few, like, if the people I'm with were to get more than half a block ahead of me, I would be lost suddenly, even though I'm just going in a straight line with them. This happens. I'm lost. I've learned to just keep going, and I'll eventually find someone. But it's quite frightening to be that disoriented out of the house. I don't like it, so I don't really leave ever by myself. And then my short-term memory problems also go as far as, like, being told to do things around the house or ask questions, and my brain fog sometimes, when it's really bad, you can ask me a question like, do I want to eat toast? Or whatever, I don't eat toast because I don't eat gluten. Do I want to eat an apple? And I will not be able to answer you, because I will not be able to figure out if I want an apple or not. I won't know. And so then I'll start to get really distressed, so I won't speak, because I can't figure it out. Then sometimes I'll forget how to speak, or I'll be too tired to speak. This is when it's really helpful that I learned a little sign language in high school. I took like a year of college sign language. So that's so helpful, because Corey, my partner, also knows sign, and we can communicate back and forth a little bit. And that's very helpful. This is such a long video. Let's keep going. And then another part of my CFS is I have seizures. They're not from my brain, though. That's for sure. My doctor tells me, Lyme doctor says they're from my gut. I notice there's like two different kinds, it seems. There's the ones I get from exhaustion, where my whole eye shut down, I can't open my eyes or communicate or breathe very deeply, and I just shudder and shake for a while until it's over. Sometimes it can be going on for hours, though. Then there's this other kind where it's much more violent, and I have a lot more awareness and my eyes are often open, and these ones are usually, I think, more due to my dissociative identity disorder. There's things I saw on the internet somewhere called dissociative seizures, and I don't remember where or what I read about them. I just remember that it made sense to me. And then the other day, like a couple weeks ago, Corey and I did this experiment where we saw what happened if I switched with one of my alters right before a seizure happened, and the seizure didn't happen. So then I did that for a while, like a few seizures, and it didn't happen. And then my alters were like, this is awful, we don't want to come out just because of a seizure, and they stopped cooperating. But that is DID for you. You can try all you want to cooperate, but in the end, you're 15 people trying to cooperate in one body. It's not going to happen. Okay, so then finally there's my autoimmune issues, where I have like a general immune dysfunction where I get sick. If anyone around me is sick, I am sick. That's what happens. And it doesn't show up like the same way as everyone, but it'll show up sometimes as like a fatigue flare, or it'll seem like strep throat, but it's just like an infection generally of up here region. So that's annoying. And exhausting, because I live with kids. Oh no, someone's calling me. Oh, we're not going to listen to them. They call me several times a day. And then there's the other immune issue where I become allergic to the foods I eat if I eat them too often, or if my immune system just isn't working that day. And my doctor tells me that's just limited to my digestive tract, so it isn't really a mast cell activation disorder. But the more she explained it to me and I thought about all my other symptoms and things, I was like, no, I think that this could be a thing, because I get skin reactions to things. I get constant allergies from I don't know what, everything. And it made a lot of sense to me that would be happening as well. Plus, it happens to a lot of Lymies. That sucks for us. Okay, so then jumping over to DID, I also have PTSD. Really fun. And a lot of my alters have PTSD. Some of my alters also have DID themselves. What? Did you know that could happen? I gotta make a whole video about things I've learned about myself. I gotta breathe more. Both Lyme and DID can cause anxiety, but that is a huge problem for me. Like, between the flashbacks and the fear of every person, and I'm not able to trust people very well. It's hard. So, I have anxiety all the time, every day. I take gabapentin to control it, and it sort of works, but nothing works perfectly. I have long-term and medium-term memory lapses where, like, if I try to remember my whole life, there are huge gaps missing, and in general, all of it is really fuzzy and hard to understand what happened when and where. Really helpful when trying to remember trauma. Then I also, like, things I did in the last week and the last month, no idea. I just float through my life, honestly, because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where I've come from. I don't know what I did or what I should be doing. I just hope that it works out. It does. Keeps going. I have people helping me, my partner mostly. And then I have seizures. I talked about those. Those ones are very different from other ones. My fatigue ones, but I get both. And then I've noticed I have really bad social withdrawal. It used to just be like people in person, but now it's everybody, even on the internet, even my long distance friends. It's just really hard. I don't have a lot of energy. I don't feel very connected to the world or to people. And then I am just floating through my existence, I think. So I have a really hard time connecting to the people I love and connecting with them and feeling connected, like they are connecting with me. It's really, I don't feel that very deeply, and that makes it really hard. I think that's one of the hardest things right now. Yeah. And then there's the effect of trauma on my physical health. where it has caused eating problems because thank you, eating disorder. And the seizures that it causes. It does other things too. Like, it's also part of why I have CFS/ME, but that didn't start until my Lyme was getting going, ramping up. Ooh, there's this time when I thought I had mono, and then I got over it, but then a couple months later I had mono again, and then I thought I got over it, and then a few months later again, and then it just stopped. It didn't go away after that. And then I just have mono forever, it feels like. Why did I go into that? Oh, that's because that's when it felt like the CFS really began, when I had mono over and over and over, and then it was with me forever. It's just like my leaky gut issues. No, I hope I can get those away. So a lot of these things I am told can actually be healed or managed, or just at least made better. And they are better. Last year at this time, I was a lot sicker and in a lot more pain. So there's improvement. And I was having seizures every day, and now I don't. I have them a few times a week. It's so much better. See? I still can't leave the house on my own, but we're working on it. So that's kind of that's like the big picture, or like, yeah, that's the big picture of my health problems and my mental health problems and how they are very much intertwined with each other. My treatments are, I'm getting therapy, like talk therapy. I was trying EMDR, but I'm so sensitive and it's hard to get EMDR for traumas that are for other people in my brain. And so I'm like, well, hold the phone. Let's start with, how about we get to know all my people in therapy before we try and do work in their brains? So that's why it's really hard to heal the PTSD, because it's not just mine, it's everybody's. So it's not just me who has to do something, it's everybody. And then, guys, I get really embarrassed about having DID. It's true. I would much prefer to just have Lyme disease, honestly. Of course, I would prefer to only have one disorder. But then, I love all my people in my body. They're really wonderful to live with, and I like working with them. I just get embarrassed to have it in front of other people, and I get nervous to try and work with it in front of other people, because it means changing what I look like changes, my face, my voice, my accent, my handwriting, my thought. Everything's different. It's a different human, that's why. Not even a human. Not all my alters are human. That's fun. So I've been thinking, however, and watching other DID channels and being like, no, I love how these people can just be out there and see each other and talk to each other this way. And I think my people inside really want that. And I want that. I'm just embarrassed and nervous. But I would like to try. So hopefully I will try soon. But now I've at least talked to you about it. And now you know what's going on with Lyme and DID. And the good news is I am getting better. It's just very, very slow. And frustrating. And I wish I could just eat French fries every day. I really miss eating fried food. But my liver gets swollen when I eat fried foods. So those are out. Also, I get constipated if I try and eat potatoes. So those are out in general. And I get heartburn from broccoli. Sorry, I could go on and on about all the foods I want to eat hurt me. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna go and drink some water. That's gonna help. And find something nice to put inside my body. And upload this very long video. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. I love you all. Please feel free to comment and tell me your thoughts, and if you relate, and what you think. And if you'd like to see my DID alters come out and introduce themselves, tell me down below. Thank you very much. Believe in yourself, and stay brave. Bye.